Hello, 안녕하세요. My name is Charlie Maddock. First, thank you to the Seoul Digital Forum for having me back. It is wonderful to be back here in Seoul, and I'm very excited to talk to you not just about 3D printing and how far it's come in just a couple of years, but also more about really looking at the power that it enables us with as individuals and brands, and thus the responsibility that we now have because of it. So just quickly taking a step back, do we think, why are we utilizing 3D printing? What does it actually give us? So certainly at first, we have to think about replacing our traditional ideas about manufacturing. We have to really think about extending those ideas, for that matter, extending our brands, our companies, from the digital world to the physical world. Want to focus too on the fact that we're able to co-create products with our customers and with our users, and certainly focus on efficiency. Now we can optimize our processes because we can manufacture things on demand. In many situations, like with the 25,000 Shapeways shop owners, supply always equals demand because for those people, for those small businesses, there's no need for inventory. Finally, and most importantly, at the base of Shapeways and the base of really 3D printing, we think in general, is this idea that we can enable people, enable ourselves to create exactly what we want. So starting first with this idea from digital to physical. Last year, we saw an incredible example of this with our friends at Google, specifically with the Made with Code program. And what the Made with Code program was, as anyone that doesn't know about it, was an idea, an initiative to engage young women in the world of coding and technology. And what Google wanted to do was they wanted to create a website, madewithcode.org, and in that website, the girls would go through different programs, different challenges while learning about code and having the ability to create something. The program that they launched Made with Code with ended up being the partnership we created with Shapeways and Google, and girls were able to code their own secret message bracelet. When they were done coding that with whatever message they'd want to have on it, moderated by Google, of course, so you couldn't say absolutely anything, we then would manufacture those bracelets on demand and ship them to the girls anywhere in the United States. Now, what made this so incredible was that in a matter of 2 months, about 6 to 8 weeks, we were able to produce a couple 100,000, mind you, all unique pieces to be shipped all around the United States. Co-creating with our customers, right? Co-creating with our super users, our super fans. We saw a pretty incredible thing last year as well with Hasbro. Hasbro, of course, this entity of massive amounts of IP, different brands under the Hasbro umbrella. And for years at Shapeways, we had talked to companies big and small about the real value of 3D printing being to enable your customers to come in, create products, co-create products with you, and thus bring those customers closer to the brand, because with mass manufactured items, we saw that a lot of times loyalty of our users was lost. So what Hasbro did that was so groundbreaking is that they created super fan art, starting with their My Little Pony brand. And within that, people would come to Hasbro, to Shapeways, with their ideas of what a pony could be or look like or be dressed as. And if they were able to get through a process moderated by Hasbro successfully, those individuals, those designers would then be able to sell those approved products to the marketplace. Portion of their markup, whatever they wanted their markup to be, would go back to Hasbro. But at the same time, we saw this as the first real use of user-generated content that we'd ever been a part of. Of course, what happened then is we had happier customers feeling even closer to the brand. Optimizing with less inventory and on-demand parts. We were really excited last holiday season to partner with Target, one of the largest retailers, to really utilize some personalized and customized product. Now, Target wanted to focus on the holiday season on ornaments and pendants. And being a design-focused organization, they said they were going to create a bunch of different designs. Over time, they ended up creating about 500 different designs. Every letter in the English alphabet, it was every state in the Union in the United States, all sorts of different symbols. But what made this so exciting was that Target utilized some technology that we've enabled our shop owners at Shapeways with called Shape.js. And before Shape.js, any customer could come into a shop on the shapeways.com platform and ask that shop owner to have that item made personally for them. Of course, that shop owner then would have to redesign the item, make it personalized, make it available to that customer. What Shape.js enabled was any shop owner to put some JavaScript into their shop, which would then enable their customers, their users, to come in and, at the very base of a personalized product, maybe eventually customize the actual geometry of that product. So yes, although Target had to create 500 different designs, when they launched these with Shape.js last holiday season, they had enabled an almost infinite number of SKUs, again, with no minimum buy. Pretty cool. Create exactly what we want and need. I think, again, this is at the base of 3D printing and the base of Shapeways' vision to enable people to create products exactly the way we want them. I've had the good fortune of being at Shapeways for about 4 years, and in that time I've seen all sorts of different exciting partnerships with the large companies we talked about today, along with the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and of course saw the great Dita Von Teese 3D printed gown be made. But nothing in my time at Shapeways has really advanced this idea of creating products exactly the way we want them than Kira. Kira was a 4-year-old girl whose father came to her on her birthday and asked her what she wanted. Kira thought about it and then looked back at her dad and said, I know exactly what I want. I want a submarine ducky. And her dad looked at her and was like, well, okay, all right. So we can find you a submarine and we can find you a ducky, but I don't know about a submarine ducky. And Kira said, well, no, wait, that's what I want. That's what I'm imagining. So Kira's father sat down with her on the computer and started to draw out this ducky with her. And then Kira's father looked at her and said, okay, so this is the ducky, right? So now we've added wheels to the ducky like you wanted, and this is basically what you're thinking about with the ducky. And she said, well, yeah, Dad, it is. But obviously the ducky, it has to open. It has to open because it has to have 2 seats inside the ducky and a steering wheel to drive the ducky around. Amazing. Her imagination just at work and then thinking about this product that didn't exist, but it was the thing that she wanted. So her father, thankfully, knew how to 3D model, took over at this point, and started to create this submarine ducky. And guess what? Guess what happened 2 weeks later? Kira got exactly what she was looking for. And yes, you know, that was her submarine ducky. But the idea is that with 3D printing now, we're talking about being able to print things in precious metals, stainless steel. We can create things, we can create geometry and designs that can't be made any other way. And most importantly, with that minimum run of 1, we can actually create everything customized and personalized. So we're empowered because of this technology, right? And with that empowerment, though, I think does come a bit of responsibility. And we're seeing products out in the world now being 3D printed. Of course, Google, Hasbro, and Target, these massive entities were the first ones that we saw at Shapeways to really take the first step to show the world that this is possible. And what they also showed is that it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what kind of products you're creating. It doesn't matter if it's toys or a promotional item or holiday pendants or fancier things. We can utilize 3D printing to help our customers create products exactly the way that we want them. Now, with these personalized products, we see people becoming happier about them, and thus we think that their lives are being made a whole lot better because of it. But again, with that idea that this technology is here, it's now. It's not something that's futuristic anymore, that just might be possible. It's ready now. So it's up to us to create those products, not only that make ourselves happy, but also our customers, again, in whatever business we're in. This idea of responsibility, though, is an important one. I think about responsibility, and I come to realize that, look, responsibility, comes to us in different ways, in different times in our life. And for me, that was about a decade ago, when I had a terrible accident. I was hit by a taxi cab in New York City. The impact broke my hip, and I flew headfirst through the windshield. Broke my jaw and had to have half my skull temporarily removed. Was in a coma for a few weeks, in the hospital for about 7 months. And, I remember that time when I was recovering, and I remember being terrified about what had happened to me, trying to figure it out. Really anxious that I might never recover. Really anxious about the fact that if I did recover, I'd be judged because I had this severe traumatic brain injury. But more than anything else, I realized that I then had a responsibility. I had a responsibility because I was given a second chance at life very early on, a month after I graduated from university. And because of that, I had to do something about it. So outside of work, I founded a nonprofit organization with my great friend and incredible neurosurgeon, Dr. Howard Rena, to focus on education. It was reiterated to me that had I not been in New York City, had I not been taken to the best hospital, had I not been seen by such a talented neurosurgeon so quickly, I might not be here. And if I was here, I might not have been able to fully recover. So we thought we had to enable an organization that would basically educate physicians on how to treat severe traumatic brain injuries in the very early stages, so it wouldn't matter if someone was in the heart of New York City when this happened, but could be further abroad and get seen quickly. And on top of that, too, we created a support network for brain injury victims. We've done some incredible things over the last couple years. Haven't utilized 3D printing yet, but I'm incredibly excited to know now, after recently speaking to our medical advisory board, that we're considering utilizing 3D printing in a future study that's actually not so far off. So I think then, about inspiration, and I think about every day seeing these amazing things uploaded to Shapeways. We're seeing about 150,000, mind you, mainly unique items uploaded to the Shapeways site every month. And I'm inspired by all these different crazy things that people are creating. I'm inspired by the fact that a lot of them are opening their own Shapeways shop and giving a portion of those proceeds back to the nonprofit of their choice, seeing that they can keep 96.5% of whatever markup they put on their products and not have to deal with any inventory. And I think about other things that that inspired me within the 3D printing realm as I become closer to it over the last couple of years, and certainly nothing can really come close to the amazing work that the people at the Enable Foundation are doing. This community of worldwide designers and people in need of these prosthetic limbs. What an amazing way to utilize this technology. But again, it reminds me that we all now, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to think about incredible things in our lives that we could create, or maybe think of incredible things that we could create for our customers. Again, doesn't matter what business we're in, but we need to see more of everything, right? And I'm not saying that everyone is going to create their own Enable Foundation, but I really want to know, what's your submarine ducky? What are you thinking about? What's the thing that you've always wanted to see but never been able to have because it wasn't there? So I encourage you to think about the fact that this technology isn't something in the future, but this is a technology that is available to you today in many different materials, and think about how you can utilize it. Maybe to make your life better, maybe to make someone else's life better. And I couldn't be more excited to see what you create, couldn't be more excited to see, again, what your submarine ducky is. And absolutely honored to be a part of Shapeways, a place that hopes we will be able to continue to take those digital dreams of yours and make them physical, tangible realities. Thank you.